Good afternoon, everybody. This is WLBT's Ask the Experts. I'm Kelly Boyd. Joining me in the hub today is expert real estate agent Lee Garland. Welcome back, Lee.
Oh, it's good to be back. It seems like it's been forever, Kelly.
A little bit. We keep getting preempted due to all the impeachment hearings going live.
So let's talk about something fun today instead of all the impeachment stuff.
I think we have some new questions for you. Tyler, our producer in the corner, just asked something about VR, virtual reality.
He sure did. Tyler was asking about virtual reality. He's got a new Christmas present on the way, it sounds like. And he was asking if he could view homes with his virtual reality glasses and the answer is yes. If an agent,
very cool.
Yes, it is cool. Can you imagine just putting your glasses on and walking through a house from while in your pajamas at your own home? And it's possible if agents use there's a technology called Matterport. It's the most mainstream technology.
And so that's like the actual software system?
It is.
Okay.
And you can download an app called Matterport VR, and you can walk through houses that have that have those videos already online. So you can stand anywhere in that house and check it out in your PJs from your own place.
That is too awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad he asked you that. All right, so the questions that we have for you, other than Tyler's, come from the Ask the Experts page on WLBT.com. But for you guys on Facebook, if you have real estate questions, you may ask Lee while we're live.
All right. Let's do this.
Okay. I'm wondering why I cannot see a list of homes for sale on your LeeWillBuyIt.com website. Am I missing something?
You are not missing anything. Actually, I just recently took the Search Homes button down from the LeeWillBuyIt.com site. LeeWillBuyIt.com is a site that is designed to highlight our seller options, talking about our instant offer program, our guaranteed sale, and our top dollar program. So it is designed for that. We're experimenting with that without having homes listed on that site. If you want to find homes for sale from our site, go to buy601.com and you'll be able to find homes there. Eventually, I think we're going to put the home search button back on the site. It was just something we were experimenting with, and we've been doing that for about 4 weeks now, maybe 5, and just kind of seeing if we can make the site faster and better. And I've actually gotten this question, why can't I find homes? And
where are the homes? Are you only buying them now, right? Might be the question out there.
No, we're buying them, we're selling them, we're listing them. And but buy601.com is absolutely the best site to go and search for homes. We have all of the homes in MLS, even our competitors' homes on that site. You can do map searches, you can search by school districts, neighborhoods, you name it, you can search it.
And that's buy601.com.
BUI601.com.
I'm typing that into the comments there, buy601.com. So your Lee will buy it, you're trying for selling homes. It doesn't show the listed, but they can call that number.
Right, 601-983-1130.
Right.
Yeah.
And then that way they can find out from you if they don't remember the buy601.com.
Right. But if you want to know the details about our selling programs, if you're a seller, then Lee Will Buy It's the place to go.
All right. Okay. I've heard you are different in your approach to your marketing methods, and I would like to know how you're different.
Well, I am different. You know what? I've never wanted to be like everybody else. I've never wanted to. I certainly don't want to be average. I feel like that. I've always wanted to be the best at what I do. So I'm different in my marketing approach because I believe in marketing. If I want to reach every potential person I can with the marketing that we do on properties that are for sale. Matter of fact, we're also different on the buyer end, because on the buyer end we offer a home buyer advantage, which is basically an assurance plan to our buyers that if they don't love the home or they have to leave it within 3 years, we'll sell it for free. So, but
that is right. I do recall you saying that, because usually once you ink your name down on those papers, that's your home for good. That's
your home for good. But we're different in our approach. One, we believe in high definition photography in order to sell a home. When you're online and an agent only posts let's say 10 to 15 pictures, and they took those pictures with their iPhone or their Android, and they're kind of dark and fuzzy, or you just don't see a lot of pictures of a home, you're probably thinking, what's wrong with this home? Why aren't they showing me all the details? So we
Right.
bring in a professional photographer to take photos of the property, and they're high definition photos. We also do drone footage of the property, so you can get an idea of how the lot lays and what the neighborhood looks like. We do the virtual tours, so Tyler can look at it from his pajamas at home. And we do video. We just want to make sure we reach as many consumers as possible, because some consumers like video as their shopping preference. That's
Right.
how they like to view things. Others want to see still
And
images.
do you have a set number of still images or video, or as much as your site allows, or as can be shown, because you want to show them as much as they can see?
Great question. I'm wondering if you remember that from a previous episode.
I didn't know.
Oh, yes,
quick?
there is a magic number. I'm not going to share with you what the magic
22.
number is. No. But there is a magic number of photos that help you rank higher in the search engines. And so that's part of our secret sauce that helps in getting more eyeballs on the properties that we have listed.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and we take a pricing. We believe in top of mind awareness. So we may adjust the prices either up or down as the property's on the market.
You may be an expert in real estate, the marketing part.
Yeah. So there's certainly different approaches, and we could talk about this all day because I get excited about it. Yes, I love marketing, and matter of fact, I was named as one of the top 500 marketers in the nation here a couple of years ago, which was an incredible award.
Yeah.
And I just got through my marketing budget for 2020.
Congratulations.
And it's the biggest marketing budget that I'm aware of that any real estate company has ever put out for
Really?
the Jackson metro area.
Well, that's great. That means we're going to see you a lot more next year.
Yes, yes, you
Around
will.
here.
Yeah.
All right.
Might even see me on the TV.
I think so.
Yeah,
Coming up.
yeah.
All right. Lee, when you offered to pay cash for a home, how is the price determined, and is it the same as what I would be listing my home for should I put it on the market?
So when we sit down with the seller that is looking at our convenience plan,
Okay.
to where they're wanting to sell their house without the hassle of a bunch of inspections and appraisals and having a ton of people walk through the house and getting the carpets dirty and maybe leaving the lights on and the heat on there or the doors open. Instead of doing that, we have our convenience program, which is our cash buy it now program. That program is not designed to get you top dollar. It's designed to offer you the ultimate inconvenience in selling your house without going through the hassles. That price is determined. Generally, I like to make 10% profit on my money because I'm not going to move in the house. I'm going to buy it and I'm going to turn around and sell it. And so I want to make some profit, and my minimum profit margin on that is 10%. Sometimes I need to make more depending on how long the house is going to be on the market when I take it over.
Sure.
So that's how it's figured. It's not an exact science, but that's the reason it's not top dollar is because it's about convenience and not top dollar. If you want top dollar, we have that program.
Right.
And if you want to try for top dollar, but just need the assurance that it'll sell, we have a guaranteed sale at the end of the listing agreement. If it hasn't sold, we'll buy it for a predetermined price.
So everything works out pretty fairly, it seems like, though, from everything you've described
Absolutely.
before. It's like how you go to a convenience store. What you might buy in the grocery store for $1 might be $4.
Exactly, exactly.
All right. I overheard someone say that Lee Garland gives you options, and now I am wondering what those options are.
I think we just covered
Yeah,
it.
right?
Yeah.
And how do your options differentiate you from other realtors? So all realtors don't offer to buy or have those cash options.
As far as I know, I am the only agent in the market that offers the option of convenience, assurance, and top dollar. So if you're looking for top dollar, we have a plan for that. If you're looking for assurance, we have a plan for that where we'll buy it at the end of the listing if it hasn't sold, or we can buy it up front as a convenience. As far as I know, I'm the only agent in town that offers that. And on the buyer side, if you buy from us, if you work with us exclusively and buy from us, and then decide, you know what, I don't like this house, or I'm moving back to the coast or Colorado or wherever it is you moved from, and you do that within 3 years, we will not charge you a listing commission to sell that property. So if you buy a $200,000-$300,000 house, you're saving upwards of $10,000.
Wow.
So
That's a nice offer.
we want you to feel good about the home you buy, and that if you decide to sell it because you don't love it or life changes and you have to leave it, we
Things
just hope
happen.
you remember us.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay. When looking at a conventional home mortgage, can you explain the difference on a fixed rate loan and an adjustable rate loan? This is kind of a mortgage question versus a real estate question.
Yeah, but I think I can handle this
All
one.
right, go for it.
So a fixed rate mortgage, a fixed rate loan is where your interest rate is, let's just hypothetically say 3%. Your rate is 3% throughout the entire life of the loan. It never goes up, never goes down. It's 3%. So your payment should remain steady unless your taxes or your insurance changes. Whereas if it's an adjustable rate mortgage, a lot of times people use the adjustable rate to get a lower rate at the beginning, say 2.5%. But then if the market changes, the rate may go up, and next thing you know, it may be 4.5% or 6%, which means your payment's going to go up significantly. So what I've seen lately in the market and over the last several years, that fixed rate mortgages are certainly much better products than an adjustable rate, because the difference between the two at the beginning is typically less than 0.5%.
Wow.
And so, to pay 0.5% more on the front end, knowing your rate will never go beyond 4% or 3%, a peace of mind is worth something.
I was about to say that exact words out of my mouth. Peace of mind.
I think I'm starting to get to know you.
We do spend a lot of time together
Yeah.
here. All right. Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't want that fluctuating. And that is based on the market and the economy, not your own personal
Correct.
credit.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. If a property has been zoned as agricultural, but I want to purchase and have it rezoned for commercial, do you help with these types of purchases?
You're actually going to need to involve an attorney for this, and you're going to have to go and apply for a variance in zoning with the city or the municipality that your property is in. So I would suggest hiring an attorney to walk you through those steps, because zoning meetings and getting things changed is a very detailed process, and I'd hate to see you spend hundreds or thousands of dollars and then not get the zoning that you're looking for. Call your county supervisor and the zoning department in your municipality. Start there, and then maybe look and find an attorney who is familiar with it.
Okay, good advice.
Yeah.
All right. What does contingent contract mean for a buyer?
Contingent contract is where when another offer, somebody else has come, well, there's several different types of contingencies. If a buyer is seeing a property listed as contingent on the market, that means somebody else has already offered to buy that property. The seller has agreed to sell it to them, and there may be a contingency of a home inspection or a structural inspection, or maybe even financing being ratified on that property. Doesn't mean you can't look at it. It just means somebody else has the first position. Now, if you're a buyer that put a contingency in the contract that said, hey, I'll buy your home contingent upon the home inspection being acceptable, then as a buyer you have to have a home inspection on the property. And if the home inspection is not acceptable, you have the right to cancel that contract, most of the time without any financial loss other than the cost of the home inspection.
Okay, makes perfect sense. So basically, if there are any contingencies proceeding, stuff that they want them to get done or fixed.
Yes.
The purchase is contingent on those things happening.
That's right.
I guess.
That's right. It's a condition in the contract that must be met in order for the contract to close.
Okay. All right. Next question. I've never heard of this. It says, Lee, What is a hard money loan? Have you worked with anyone who had this type of loan?
Yes, I have. And hard money lenders are lenders who are looking to give you money for a short period. They're going to charge you higher interest or more points to get that loan. Typically, you're going to take a hard money loan out if you don't have one, you either need to purchase really fast or your credit is not strong enough to go and procure a more long-term permanent loan, traditional mortgage.
Okay.
Hard money it's costly. It's kind of like, well, it's the difference between going to the bank to take out a loan for a car and going to a title company or a pawn shop to take out a loan. You're going to pay more for that loan at a pawn shop or a title company, whereas if you went to the bank, you would get a better rate, but you're going to have to jump through more paperwork at the bank versus the pawn shop or title company or check cashing business.
Okay, so it's not exactly a mortgage then. It is an actual loan, but it's used to purchase the home.
It is a loan. They do take a lien against your property, and it's a short-term loan. And if you don't pay it, they will take your property. And it's typically an interest-only loan for a very short period of time.
Okay.
So let's say you took out $100,000 on a hard money loan. Whereas if you went to the bank and you put it on a 30-year mortgage, you'd need about $3,000, $3,500 under an FHA to procure that loan. And then you would pay $100,000, you'd pay somewhere in the neighborhood of about $600 to $750 a month for that loan for 30 years. Hard money, you're going to take $100,000, you're probably only going to use it for 90 days, and you're going to pay back somewhere in the neighborhood of $10,000 to $12,000 of interest in 90 days.
In 90 days, plus your amount back.
Plus the amount you borrowed, yes.
Okay, all right. All right, how many times is a potential buyer's credit checked before the date of signing the loan?
So it depends on how many mortgage companies you go to and where you apply for that mortgage. If you go to Lending Tree or an online site and say, hey, I want to apply for a mortgage, if it's not a specific company, if it's a company that is looking for the best rate, your credit could be checked 4 or 5 times with that one site because they're going to send it to 4 or 5 different banks.
Right.
If you go to, let's just say you go to Trustmark, and Trustmark says, you tell them you want to buy a house, they check your credit on the front end, they have the right to do a second pull right before closing to make sure that your credit has not changed from the start of the process, which is smart because I've known people to go out and they apply for a loan and right before closing they went out and bought a new car or they bought a couch or a refrigerator on credit, which changed their credit scores and their debt-to-income ratios, which means they really had no business buying a house at that point because they couldn't afford the house after they bought the car.
Right.
And I've seen it denied that way at the last minute. It's not fun.
Yeah.
Makes for, that's the day that your agent goes, why? But so they can pull your credit twice.
So when you're in the process of buying a home, you're not supposed to go out and put other things on your credit.
On credit, no.
Yeah.
Nor should you pay things off unless your lender tells you to, because paying things off could have a negative effect on your credit as well. I just recently saw that happen. It's devastating to the couple.
Oh, no.
Because they thought they were doing the right thing, paying off a bill before they closed so they wouldn't have that on their credit.
But it was one of those bills that probably had a, what's the word I'm looking for here? The, like a stipulation, an issue with paying off, what's it called?
No, it did not have a prepayment penalty, but
Penalty,
it changed their credit score because it created a new activity on their account.
Okay.
So when you're buying a house, talk to your lender, talk to your real estate agent, listen to what they say. Don't just assume that, hey, I'm going to do this because it seems like the right thing. Ask
Yeah.
before you do. Don't buy a piece of bubble gum with
Right.
credit
Unless if it's related to your credit or finances, ask the lender and the agent, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. No. Is there always a required contract with agent and seller or agent and buyer, and why?
If you hire an agent, then yes, the contract should be in writing. There should be a written contract. If you're working with an agent, and if you meet an agent at a house or somewhere and you start talking about real estate, there's something called implied agency. If you assume that agent is working for you and that agent acts as if they're working for you, that's called implied agency. It's not a contract, but it's a duty that agent owes you because they've engaged with you in a deeper manner than, hey, this is just a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house for $170,000. If they start giving you detailed information, it would be a fair assumption that agent is working for you, and therefore implied agency comes in. But there's no obligation under that implied agency of compensation, or that you even have to use that agent. Where the obligation comes in is if a contract is signed. And yes, you do need a contract signed because just as most people would not go to work for a company without knowing they're going to pay them, most agents are probably not going to go to work for you without an obligation, a commitment that you're going to use them exclusively, because agents work 40, 60, 80 plus hours with one client, so they're going to want some assurance that they're going to get paid if they do their job.
Sure. You don't want to work for free, do you?
No.
All right.
Although
much
we'll
as you
sell
enjoyed
it
it,
although we'll sell it for free
You'll
if you
sell
don't
for
like
free?
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Kathy Nunnery is watching from Crystal Springs. Hello, Kathy.
Hey, Kathy.
Let's see. When purchasing property, whose responsibility is it to do the research to determine if added restrictions have been filed on that piece of property?
Great question. The responsibility, ultimately, if you're the buyer, the responsibility is yours. If you ask the agent if there are restrictions on the property, the agent has a duty to ask the question and to see if he or she can find out. However, it is not the agent's responsibility to ask that question unless you've pointed it out to them as an issue for you.
Gotcha.
It's something that you want. It's kind of like I think. Well, I did an episode, not here, but somebody from here asked about haunted houses. An agent does not have a responsibility to ask if the house is haunted unless the client has said that this would be an issue for them.
Right.
So.
You had some interesting stories on that. See, we should have done that back in October for Halloween, and and you told us those stories.
It's fun.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, I may be taking in my elderly relative, and if so, I will need to purchase a larger home. So you have somebody calling you soon, it sounds like. My relative would not be on the loan or title of the home, but wants to help me with a large sum of cash in order to purchase the size of home we need. So maybe the down payment, I mean. Would I be able to accept monies from my relative to use toward the purchase of another home?
This question.
It sounds a little loaded.
This question has a lot of if, ands, and buts in it.
Yeah. Okay.
So if a relative is going to give you money, if anybody's going to give you money, the IRS is probably going to want to know about it.
Right.
Especially if it's a sum in excess of $10,000 or more, the IRS is probably going to want to count that as income. So if you're wanting to make an addition to your home and your relative's going to give you a lot of money to make that addition, then that money may be considered a gift. So I would talk to my accountant about that. Could a relative pay you to add on to your home and it not be considered income? Well, if you get paid for doing a job, it's income, and the IRS wants a piece of it. So I think I'm going to have to defer this question to an accountant because there's so many if, ands, or what ifs.
Because it could be assumed as a gift, but when you're dealing with the things, you never want to assume.
Right, right.
Yes, and it sounds like they're wanting to purchase a larger home, it said. So they'd be making the purchase, but they don't want the elderly relative's name on the home.
Which sounds like a gift to me.
Right, right. So, yeah, accountant or attorney.
Yeah.
Question for them. Let's see. Lee, I know you're coming back next week to see us, right? A few back to back.
I'm so confused anymore because, you know, between the impeachment hearings and our technical difficulties a while back with Mark over at Facebook, I just don't know which day is which. And, you know, when is Santa Claus coming?
That's a couple of weeks away, so we're still good there.
We're still good there?
We still got a couple of weeks. Yeah. You have big plans for the holidays?
Other than eating a little too much and opening up all the gifts that our viewers are going to send.
Yeah, you guys are going to send good gifts, right?
No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm going to spend it with family. I might even take a day off. Who knows?
That sounds good. Sounds good. At least take Christmas Day off. Right?
Yeah.
You're going to pick that one?
I do have, I don't know if anybody's seen my billboards yet, but I may be riding a reindeer around town. So.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I might go right around town just to see that. Look for Lee's reindeer. Are you actually riding? You're driving like Santa?
Well, there's something to do with me and a reindeer on a billboard.
I'm going to drive around.
Oh, I am going to go to Star Wars.
Let me know. Post the picture if you see it out there. You're going to Star Wars too?
Yeah, Star Wars. I'm going to go watch Star Wars on the 21st.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think a lot of folks will be joining you. Well, thank you for coming in today, and we'll do this again next week. I think Wednesday at 2 p.m., something like that, or Thursday. I'll be here even if he's not. I think we have one every day next week at 2 o'clock.
That sounds like a fun week.
Sounds like it. I'll be here. Well, thank you all for watching, and thank you for your questions. It's WLBT's Ask the Experts. Have a great day.